Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the time is, wherever you are watching this, and welcome to another midday midweek or thereabouts.
Yep.
Um, good weather here in the south, and as you can see behind me, obviously taken at the dark hours when the aurora australis was bouncing around earlier in the week. Or no, in fact, it's the northern lights. But there you go. Morning, Pete. Morning, Frank. How are you
Morning,
both?
Dennis.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. Morning, Frank.
Good to see you still at Raffles, Pete.
Still there.
Yep.
I
Yeah. Am I
can't
Well,
still
leave. I
there?
can't leave. I can't afford the bill.
and you seem to be in the close to a submarine there behind you, Frank. What's the story?
Yes, that was just qualifying for sea time.
So whereabouts was that
That
taken
was
in?
going to the Chatham Islands during the crayfish wars of the 70s.
All right.
We were going down to keep the peace.
So when you say we, what are the two vessels?
We had the Imbrel and Kiama, two
Okay.
minesweepers. World War II minesweepers, of course, and they went for many, many years after World War II. Good old, reliable old triple expansion engines, hammocks, of course, and you had to get from where that gunners was our mess deck down to about midships to
Yeah.
get your lunch or your dinner on a plate and all this.
What? No crayfish?
Oh yes, yes, we had the crayfish. That's one thing they were good for.
Well, that's good. Good bit of history there,
Yeah,
Frank.
no covered in bridge, by the way. That was an open bridge for all you modern sailors.
Wow.
Oh,
That's when we
so
got wet.
oh
And
goodness.
cold.
And the
Mm.
wheel was on the bridge, and the bloke steering could see where he was going.
What are you saying? Don't mention the
Excellent.
Manawanui.
And no
Yeah.
autopilot. Yeah.
No.
No autopilot on that old girl.
All right. So interesting weekend, King's birthday weekend, and I noticed
Yeah.
a couple of people. Let me just check. Mentioned in the honours list. So Simon Stromborn from the Remembrance Army, now a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, and also Charles Milligan, KSM, for services to the RSA. So I think he's
Yeah.
with the Tauranga RSA. So
Fred.
well
Fred
done,
Milligan.
well done for the recognition for your service, gentlemen.
Hmm.
Good on you. Um, Pete, what's on your plate this morning?
Well, it's wet and rainy here in Rotorua. That Charles Milligan is Fred Milligan. He's ex-RNZ. Well, he was ex infantry in Malaya, but he ended up
Right,
ex-RNZ Navy
right.
as a, I think he might end, I'm sure he ended as a captain or a major. Um, yeah, so well done to him. Um, I see Judith Collins is in Singapore at the moment. She's,
Right.
yeah,
What's
so
going on there?
I don't know. She's meeting with her counterpart, the Minister of Defence. So it popped up in the paper yesterday. So I'm not sure what's going on. There was a comment from the US Secretary of Defence saying how pleased they were with New Zealand increasing its budget for defence.
Right.
So that's good news. Um, we were having a bit of a talk about the new Air Force and the shortcomings we have at the moment, and I guess my thought is that um, if we introduce drones into our Air Force, I believe that we could actually get something up and going quite fast because I'm sure the US would be pretty keen on training our guys,
Right.
and as I said cheekily, or send them to the Ukraine.
I was going to suggest the Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
from a military strategic point of view, that was a bit of a masterstroke to strike the Russian fleet.
Well, it was a masterstroke, a
Yeah,
real masterstroke. I
yeah,
mean, $7 billion worth of damage to those aeroplanes. Ooh, ouch!
yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
hurts anybody.
yeah.
Um, the last thing I've got today is I just wanted to reply to our last week's video where there was a comment put up about this is SEVA and they didn't want to hear about the Antarctic and the Waitangi Tribunal and blah, 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 blah. Um, I think the first thing I'd say is, we put a lot of time into this. We, as in all of us, it's our time. We're all volunteers. It costs us money to go and do things. And I think going to places like the Waitangi Tribunal creates real networking opportunities. And although it was the Antarctic claim, I have previously been to Rotorua and to Waiouru in 2015, along with several others. And we also presented for SEVA. So you know, you can't just put it all into one little box and say, oh, that should be pushed out of here because we're SEVA and blah, blah, blah. The whole thing is we're networking across a whole bunch of people trying to get some traction. That week in Devonport at Philomel, we believe we finally got some traction because for the first time ever, we were acknowledged, we were spoken to, and we were treated extremely, extremely well. So that's all I've got to say on the subject. Oh, except one more thing. And if you feel so strong about the direction of SEVA, the AGM's coming up. Stick your hand up and join the committee. There you go. There's the challenge. And it doesn't matter if you don't live in New Zealand. We're all on Zoom. Christchurch, Rotorua.
Oklahoma.
I was going to say Chatham Islands. Otaurahonga. There you go. There's the challenge. Join the committee.
Yep, and I think that's one of the keys that when we have an executive meeting, we're spread throughout the country.
Yep.
Napier, Hastings, Palmerston,
Wanganui.
Canterbury, Wanganui, and so you don't have to be resident in New Zealand. You can be resident anywhere as long as you set the alarm clock to get up to join the meeting. You can join us if that's how the time works out. And certainly, I think as an organisation, this AGM is, I think, is quite crucial because we're at a point where we need to be seriously considering the future of the organisation. Has the purpose diminished over the years? Do we need a new direction? Do we need a new purpose? How do we acknowledge the changes and the information and the feedback that we've been getting from the government in a number of different responses to OIAs, as well as from the current Minister of Defence. So, and I think there's also, apart from myself, there's other people stepping down. So it's an opportunity for you to, as Peter says, put your hand up, throw your hat in the ring, and join the executive. Have your say, be involved.
Yep.
So, Frank, you're a bit of a stalwart as far as the naval aspect goes. So,
Oh, definitely. It's funny we've just had a meeting on our RNZN Communicators Association on what is our future. And what is our future?
yeah,
We're all getting on. Most of us are over 70, and they don't have communicators in the Navy anymore like we were.
right.
So what is our future? We cannot get younger people to join our association.
Yeah,
I think we've had about 3 from the current Navy join in the last 5 years.
right.
So, where do we go? And it's obviously going to end up the same as Siava. Where do we
Yeah,
go?
yep. There is, we're a finite organisation in that it's open to a certain number of people who served and those who were the last to serve in Singapore in 1989. That kind of wraps it up, really. So if people aren't willing to put their hands up, then the challenge is for those who become the executive committee in July to lead the organisation, not so much in its in a new direction. So we look forward to that. And as Peter said, maybe it's it does cost each and every one of us money to get around or travel around the country. From time to time, there's a little bit of recompense from the association, but I don't think it's more of a token gesture as opposed to full compensation for the time and effort put in.
Agreed.
Oh, that's a bit of a blurb for this morning.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing while you're all listening, I appreciate your feedback because I get people who contact me after each week just with a little bit of information, and I just write it down and keep it there for my next combat session with defence. And it's amazing the information I'm picking up.
Right.
So
Okay.
thank you, every one of you.
So this works. Even though we may not personally see the response, we do get quite a bit of feedback from different people at different times, different views and viewpoints. So that's all good. So what else have we got? Oh, I'll just check my my list of stories for today. Oh yes. So this is a good lead-in for the last post and things. I just want to give a shout out to JMF Dieppe, whoever you might be. Really appreciate the hard work that's gone into putting up the acknowledgement for those who served and have passed, whether in service or since retiring from the service. I think that's an awesome job. I don't know whether you're funded or not, but certainly appreciate the work that goes in locating who has passed and when they're passed and where perhaps they're buried at. So it's a heartfelt thanks for that, acknowledging those people, and I'm sure their families are appreciative. And one of the things that I picked up somewhere, it's an old saying about you don't finally die until your name is uttered for the last time. And so keeping the names alive keeps the memories alive and keeps someone's past, their history and their service and the comradeship alive. So that's an important piece. Not openly supported by Siava, but we just want to thank you for your hard effort that you put in on behalf of all the members and their families. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Last post.
Right. Well, we have
Crossing the bar.
one from the Naval Division, 18663 Katipa Patrick Mini Kerry was a mechanical engineer, crossed the bar on the 1st of June 2025, and a service for Pat will be held today, Wednesday, the 4th of June, and I believe it's in Rotorua. But I'm unsure of the exact place. That's the only passing or crossing the bar that we have, and please accept our condolences to Pat's family and friends.
Thanks, Frank. Govern John Robert, Major, retired, passed away on the 30th of May 2025. Two postings to 1RNZIR in Singapore. Don't have his service number, but his funeral service was held yesterday and I understand was well attended. Gov was in the time I knew him, 75, 77, part of the Moola platoon, obviously commissioned at some point in his service and ended up, I think, at Trentham Camp from memory. 44312, Rangi Clarence R. Fitzgerald, RNZA passed away on the 28th of May 25, aged 73. Rangi trained at 161 Battery Depot in Papakura before being deployed to 161 Battery in Vietnam as a driver operator January 1971 and returned to New Zealand in May 1971 when the battery was redeployed. So thank you, gentlemen, for your service. And to the families, we offer our condolences and offer our support if you need to negotiate the way through either RSA support services or through Veterans Affairs. Pete, I keep knocking you up for the ode.
Okay. I'll volunteer.
Thanks.
Pick me. I hope there's a crayfish in this.
A chocolate fish.
A chocolate fish. Okay. Sorry, guys. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we shall remember them.
We'll remember them. Thank you. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Frank. It's us for today, Midday Midweek. If you think of any news, views, and entertainment that we should perhaps bring to this forum, send something to us. Certainly, when you're considering the upcoming AGM, we are short an RNZAF member on our executive. That would be good after John Forrest left us. Hasn't been replaced. Always good to have input of the of those who fly for a living or service the planes that fly. Good on them. So yeah, that would be handy. Another representative to replace John Forrest. And for the rest of you, certainly give consideration to what you could bring to the table. Different views, different opinions, different directions, because we need to be considering that for our future as an organisation. So thank you, Frank. Thank you, Peter, for joining me this morning. And for those of you who are watching, thanks for taking the time to click on Midday at Midweek and listen to us prattle on. Hope it helps fill your day. So take care, look after each other, stay in contact. So much easier today with the phone and the internet. Do that and just look out for your mates. Make sure they're all okay. We'll catch you again, same time, same bed channel. Possibly not from the Northern Lights next week, but I'm all from the Submariners in the deep south, heading to the Chathams.
Or from Raffles.
Yeah.
Raffles. But we'll catch up with you again. Cheers. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye, everyone.